this message came through and I thought I would share. It came in a journaling, and then it came in a channeling, came even more when I started walking, and then I came back and I was like, I need y'all to explain. So I'm going to actually put the actual channeling for the second one that I did, just so that you can see what comes from this. So what all this is about is a mission that I have been striving to figure out for myself, and I've been told by many sessions that you can't really know all of it yet. And now that I've heard this, I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense. So this may or may not resonate with you, but I wanted to share because some of us are here to do this work. And I thought, wow, what a really cool way for us to be able to transmute this density. And there's probably many of you that are doing this, or there may be some of you that you had no idea that this is something that was been your calling, but it now makes sense. So, for those of you that don't know, I am Heather and I'm a quantum healer, and I have now discovered how to use quantum soul integration. So, I co created this with the Infinite Collective. They came in and they helped me create this new way. It's a new type of hypnosis that it's done with a lot of the same background with Dolores Cannon's work. I'm a level 2 certified practitioner. I've done many modalities to incorporate this, but this has led to me discovering how to integrate the blueprint, the multidimensional self, to pull all of the things in to be able to help you. So I put this channeling after just so you can see, and there is a light language activation. So if you stay into the end, you'll get an activation for the remembrance of your mission. So again, take it or leave it. I don't know if this resonates with you, but if you're still here, you're very curious about your role in possibly the Archons. So enjoy.
Yes, you were asking us to come back through and explain again in our own words in which you channeled and journaled today in regards to your particular mission. The reason that your mission has been so big and it's been so hush hush was because we did not want you to, we're going to use the word hijack the mission, because we are now at a pivotal moment where those who have accepted the role of transition have now decided, and those who are not ready have decided. And so now it's just a matter of allowing whatever is going to play out, because the mission in which you have chosen to do, which was to awaken the Archons, we'll use that word because you know what that means. You have decided to awaken them, the ones who have been playing this game for far too long. And the reason they've been playing this game, they've been allowed to, but again, everything has free will in this universe. And there just comes a point in all beings that you need to evolve. And they have gotten to a place that they're stagnant because they have not grown for a very long time. And when we're all connected, we are connected to them. And it's almost as if they are holding us back as well. And so we decided that we would give them a planet, we would call it Earth, and we would let them play, because they have done a lot of damage to other planets and other beings, and caused a lot of havoc. And again, all lessons and experiences from our perspective. But again, there comes a point when they have played that for so long that their species as a entire collective is ready to shift. They are ready to evolve themselves within themselves. And so we are wanting to grant that ability as well. And they were unable to do it themselves, which is why you, as a high dimensional being, and there are many of you who took on this role, not all of you will resonate with this, but many of you took on this role in which you came to not evolve the humans. There are other beings that are there doing that part. You are here to evolve those who have been playing the game for far too long. And what you have done is you have came since the very beginning of humanity creation. You were part of humanity's creation, and therefore you designed the body, the physical vessel in which you were to inhabit, perfectly designed to awaken. You knew exactly what you were doing when you installed and integrated the specific DNA strands in which they were actually designed. You were part of that intricate exploration, and you were part of the very articulate way in which those strands were created. And so you knew that it was inevitable that the mission could be done. And so, as that high dimensional being that was part of the creation of these human vessels, you then decided to become one. And when you became one, you were able to live lifetime after lifetime after lifetime because you agreed to play the game with them. Now, you decided to, it's almost like if you imagine that you're an adult, and as an adult, you know how you lose the desire to play. And so, what you decided to do is whenever you became human, you decided to play as an adult. So, you went down in the adult form, but you decided to be childlike again. And so, you played the game lifetime after lifetime, and you experienced what you experienced, but you were like a CIA agent. You infiltrated and gathered data every single lifetime. Now, you went in every lifetime awakened. Now, you sometimes chose to be awake when you got there, and you never went to sleep. Sometimes you chose to go to sleep and wake up. So you had lots of experiences within the experience. So you took advantage of the fact of, well, let me try this and just see what happens. Let me try that and see what happens. And so you played the game, you allowed the density, the polarity to be completely organic, in which you chose very interesting situations and families and dynamics and places. And you chose all of those to really evolve your soul even further while also gathering enough data for the right moment. Now, humanity has had many opportunities to evolve, and here's the thing, they have evolved. We know exactly how to make this work, but the thing is, it was never about the humans. We've successively, as collective beings, have disappeared off the planet. We know how to do this. It is extremely doable. Yet, the problem is, we can evolve the human over and over and over, but that lower density is still there. And we are, as a entire collective of beings, the oneness of source creation has now decided that that lower vibrational energy that has been, we're going to give you like a vision of a splinter in the vehicle. They are a nagging splinter. And we are wanting to remove that splinter by pulling it out and healing that area. So, in other words, we are now ready to help them see that there is another way, that they would actually desire this evolution. And so, what has happened is all of these linear lifetimes that each of you have lived with this mission in hand, you have placed nuggets of information within the grid, within crystals, within uh, these temples. This information is in the ether. It is rippling out in light codes. It is rippling from the sun. It is activation within the DNA. It is actually embedded. This truth is embedded in the DNA. And as you awaken each lifetime, you plant in more nuggets of information every single lifetime. And this lifetime was created in order to not evolve humanity quickly. You were never meant to just evolve and then be gone. There's some that have chosen to have a different mission, and this is not for them. This is for those of you that remember being the witches and the seers, the psychics, the healers, those who have came here and spread knowledge and have been ridiculed for it. Now they can read your frequency. They know every single time that you've came here, and they have done everything they can to stop you from awakening. And the amazing part has been that you agreed coming to this earth life to take on these contracts with these beings. And you chose that because you knew that you could be a mentor. You took on these beings and these implants and these technologies in order to evolve them into a place in which they could grow. And once these beings were able to learn from you and grow and expand within themselves, that started feeding into their collective. And there were already beings in their collective that were ready to evolve, but they were not able to convince otherwise those that were still playing the game. Those kids were having so much fun playing kickball and tag and all of the things that they were involved in that they had no desire to grow up, so to speak. And as a collective, they are now ready. And so many of them have, through the help of those of you light workers, who have done the healing work throughout time and space on a quantum level. You have worked with them on a contractual agreement in which they now have seen the light. They have now had the ability to go back to source, to gain that knowledge, to feel that they are now welcome back within the embrace of the source creator. They have forgotten that ability to connect in. They have given up that opportunity because they didn't think that they were able to have that again. And so they've lived in this fear. And now they've gotten to a point, a lot of them have gotten to the point through all of these lifetimes of watching you all play the game and seeing the compassion that you've been able to give them, even through all of the density and polarity that you have experienced. They've watched you create this life for yourself. They knew what you came in here with, came in here for, and they played their part on keeping you asleep and creating these situations in which these things would happen that would hurt you and keep you small. But somehow, in some way, you have found your way back to self. You have found your way back to source, back to Master Creator. You have figured out how to connect in with your soul, connect in with your God, your collectives, your higher self. You have found a way to connect in with your multidimensional being. You have found your way back. And in that destiny of finding your way back, those that were attached to you have learned and growed with you. They have too found the light within, and they love that, and they didn't want to leave, but they have no purpose there anymore. It is time for them to expand and to see what it's like to be healed, to be back in the light of Source Creator, to evolve, to be able to create again as creators. It is time for them to expand within themselves. And with the help of you light workers who have taken this mission, have been successful in this mission. And it's so beautiful to have watched all of this play out. It's been an amazing journey to be with you on this journey, knowing that you would accomplish it. And so many of you have felt so tired and you felt like you haven't done what you came here to do. And we are here to say you have. You've been so successful. It is beautiful to watch. And yet there are some that are still being a little stubborn, we would say. And there are many souls, many earthlings there, and many humans that have chosen not to awaken because of this. They decided before they got here that if there were still some stragglers that would not give up reign, so to speak, that they would go through the deepest, darkest parts of earth, the alternate parallel of experience, in order to give them one last go and allow them to dig even deeper, do even more polarity and contrast in and seeing what they can do, thinking that they could still be able to rule and reign. And what's going to happen is those souls, those brave light workers, those warriors, they are going to awaken. And in those moments of awakening are going to have compassion yet again. And it's going to be a totally amazing experience to watch the journey unfold as those that think that they have won, they have succeeded in keeping humanity small, when those brave light workers that chose to continue the journey wake up and have even more compassion and love, and they are still able to awaken even when the polarity is so thick, so dense that they think that there's no way humanity will wake up now. We've got them. We've got them. And they wake up and they still find their way back to source. They still have compassion, even for those still playing in the contrast, those that are still trying to rule and reign them. And then you'll have those that awaken who are ready to go, okay, fine. I see that there is nothing else to do. I have done all that I can think. I've done all the things that I could utilize, and I'm not able to remain in control. And you're going to have a lot of them at that moment decide that it's time. And then, of course, those that don't want to evolve, we have other ways. But the mission was to get as many of them as possible to make the choice to use their free will, to allow them to see that they can choose to evolve. And as a species, this was their ultimate lesson, their ultimate way of finding their way back. Even these beings were able, through all of their denseness, find their way back to source. How beautiful is that layout? How beautifully designed Source Creator's way of being able to allow those who think that they are in control have their way for many, many, many eons, to then figure out a way to show them through love and compassion, and allow them to choose their way back. And being able to take such high dimensional beings in full light, lower their density, lower their vibration, in order to fit that miraculous body into a vehicle in the third dimension, in which was designed to awaken with the DNA at the right moment, in the right lifetime, to activate all of those truth bombs, all of those truth codes have been embedded lifetime after lifetime after lifetime in the DNA. That is why when we told you earlier about this, you had so much release. Lots and lots of tears were shed, because all of those parts within you finally understood the ultimate mission. The ultimate mission was you chose this, and it was never about the human. The human can evolve. We know that. This has been about the archons, the dense beings that have been playing this game for far too long. It was a way to show them that we can play at their game, but eventually their game gets boring. And once you run out of things to do, the only thing that there's left to do is to evolve. And we have gotten to that point. We have made it very clear that they now have the ability, they have the choice to take on this role to allow their entire species to evolve naturally. And with their evolution within themselves, within that collective, it shifts all of us because we are all one. We are all connected. And what a grand plan that was to embed from the inside out, to be the CIA agent, to infiltrate Earth's plan from the inside, to gather data, lifetime after lifetime, serving a purpose, to embed in the DNA in which those codes were ready to emerge, to awaken each individual soul at the perfect time, the perfect moment in which you were activated to awaken not humanity, but to awaken those beings that were attached to you in contractual agreements. And that became the ripple effect. And once they awakened, it became contagious, and it became an opportunity for those who have been playing in that denseness to then realize that they too have a choice. And so, for those of you who have been engulfed with entities, who have had these experiences, whether it's psychic attacks, if you have experienced them as a kid, this has also been part of your mission. You have been placed here strategically in order to awaken them. It was not to awaken humanity. There are those beings who are here to awaken humanity. But those of you who have chosen to take a deeper route, who have been here for many, many lifetimes, ensuring that this moment, this lifetime would happen exactly the way it has happened. It has happened better than we as a collective could have ever imagined. It's way more beautiful from our perspective, and we couldn't be prouder of the souls that are there representing all of us. We are all one. We love you so much, and we are sending out this activation for each of you who would like to receive. So we are giving you the opportunity. We are going to transmit through Heather a light language activation, a understanding for your soul, for all of those imprints, those fragments of self within the DNA that have not understood the mission completely. And so you now have it in the consciousness, the subconscious has this information, and it will continue through this activation in the English language has now been embedded in the DNA. But we are now going to use light language in order to penetrate all the cells and to awaken the DNA to ensure that you completely fulfill the mission in which you came here to be. So if you do not want to partake in this activation, we ask you to now stop the recording. But if you stay through the rest of this transmission, you are now saying that you agree to receive this activation, this transmission through the collective. And so now we will begin. Ashia kataye to kukia la shi kia la to tuishi kia la kataye shikala uetia kata ishi ya kataye to kukia la kashi kia la kataye to kukia la kataye kakuku iti ya kataye katokia la kataka kia kakakia la kukia la kakakia kakakia takokia kakakia takakakia tata ayishi kakakia lo kukiki kakakia kakakia atia tataku Ashi katatia katokukia la katia takakia la ashi kata te kata kata kakia la uti tia kakokuki I ata takaki ata uti shia kata I a ushia la I takaki a shia kala I tata yeshuela I tadi chikatia kata a ita ushi ata yetaka kokukia la katia kati I ata kokuki ata yeshikia tata Iataishi yakata ayachati shi Iakata yetaka yetaka takashi yakata yekata yekata kukiki yakayeta yashiki yatata yetata ayetaka yeshi yakata yeta ushia Ayetakakia la utia katia ishia kata iekokia la kia la kia kakikia la katia takashia ishia katata Ashia kata yekato yeshia kata iaka ietaka yeshia kata iakata ika kia taushia kaita ika ushika ka ushika ita ka u ita ika ikishia katu shia katau ayika ita ishi kata ashia kata ushia kata. Take a deep breath in and release it out. And just know that this transmission is recalibrating you, and you may feel it for the next 24 hours, and more information may reveal itself within the mission in which you chose to embark on. So if you would like to know more about your mission specifically, ask. Ask and you shall receive. Sending you so much love, so much gratitude for the mission that you are taking, the mission that you are accomplishing. The mission is almost complete, and we are so grateful for what you have done thus far. We love you. We love you. We love you. We are now complete.
Again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and leave me a comment below if this resonates with you, if you're on this mission with me, and just what you think about this channeling. Again, this is coming from me. This could have some programming involved, so take it or leave it. But I really find it very valuable in where we are today. So I hope that you share this with anyone that will feel a benefit from this. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you on the next one.